Okay. So, Freeman dis. Okay. Up. On Endless Space 2 music. I think. All right. Like a Ilios.
Indigo.
I always get it wrong, even with Ilios. Okay. Okay. Start off here. Start on Rush. Yeah, that's fine. Rush here is pretty good. Okay. Yeah, rotate page here. Sound a little. Okay, they have a Pharah. They're playing there. Okay. So how they're playing here? They're really stupid because they put their Anna and there's already a here. You can run over their Anna right now. Like the second you see this Anna, you should just be rolling her over. Yeah, you push out. The bubble was a little early, so what I would do there is I would see that as an opportunity, right? And I would immediately jump. Like if she's trying to kite that way, and I know my lines are a little difficult to see because of the color show that's going on, but essentially what you can do, go back a few seconds to set it up so that it doesn't go back 20. Like here, the fact that their Anna walked out, like the second you see this, what I want you to do if she's trying to kite this way, jump and cut her off. Put a bubble right here. She would have instantly like that just means these two are dead, right? That's a massive opportunity for you, and that's not really a feed play because your team's gonna follow up and just go with you. Yeah, that bubble was a little too early, and you're not really cutting anybody off with it. So like, I would bubble like this against another rush. Like that, this is kind of how you treat your bubble a lot in the first part of the fight. But here they're just gonna kite out of it, and this Anna's able to live a little bit longer, and their monkey ends up saving their Anna, right? Like their Anna definitely would have died if you just jumped behind her and got her like that. She still dies. That's fine. Would have been a Cleaner though. Way cleaner. Okay, their fair is above you now. Once you kill the Anna, and here, yeah, you just need to keep walking, honestly. Like, you need to walk on their Zarya. Their Zarya is your next big target. Yeah, keep going with Goose here. Jump on Zarya, that's fine. Kill Zarya. Okay. That was decent. Some micro stuff that could be a little better, but for the most part, all the macro was good. Yep, and set up cage. This is good as well. So here, like overall, and this map is very, very tight, so it's hard for them to kite you. Like, it's not super open where they can make these big rotations. Their Zarya, especially, and also their Anna are great targets. I think their Zarya is honestly maybe even your best target, because once that personal bubble's gone, that Zarya can just instantly die. She has no way. She has less resources to live than Anna really does, even though Anna has less health, and usually Anna's further back. Zarya has to be in the front, really. So Zarya is, like, really easy to kill. And everyone, feel free to ask questions and stuff like that, too. They come up. Yeah, there's Zarya just use personal. Honestly, with where you are now, I would int right after the personal is used. Like, absolutely just go and cut off the Zarya and kill her, right? That's the kind of opportunity that I want you, Mech, to look for. Like, if a Zarya, if you see her pull that stupid shit like that, the looking for a charge, and their entire team's in this kill box right here, it's beautiful, right? You can just shred all of them. Yeah. Here, instead, you bubble right here. Again, I don't think this bubble is really needed. Like, you're not even half health. You're just kind of bubbling for the sake of bubbling, and their Tracer's hacked now. Like, you could have jumped behind them after they use the personal bubble, and just, you know, the rest of the team follows up from there. And I think the rest of you also stop playing so far back. Play the corner with Mech. Play where Mech's playing. I know there is a Pharah, so maybe your supports can play back in this corner, and your tanks can play here. But Vit, I want you to take a bit more of an aggressive position. Deny this Pharah this space. Play up here, okay? Like, get set up here. And Sombra, you can do the same. That hack on Tracer was really good, like going behind, but you can play up on top as well. And the D.Va can DM a hack on, like, Pharah or something. And Goose, you can even get set up here too. Although I'd say just play on Mech, right? And Mech, you can just, honestly, it's better for you to play low ground and your D.Va to take the off angle up here. Yeah, that's how I'd approach, like, the setup at least. They use their bubble next. Yeah, and now you can't really push in. You're ceding space now. And when you're kiting, right, I would recommend kiting into cage, not out into open space like this, because now you've just split yourselves. And, you know, your Sombra's over here, your Monkey's completely split from the team. What are you on bubble cooldown right now? You're at 6 seconds. This isn't great. Yeah, this Monkey is kind of feeding, though. He has no bubble. Almost one, dead. Yeah, there you go. So that Monkey pretty much just went too far, but he could have just walked and lived. Just remember that when you're kiting. Just try and kite the corners a little bit more. Walking. Again, bubble was early, okay? I want to look at that again, because your bubble usage, like, it's consistently your biggest issue with your Monkey, right? Like, you're way better with your jumps. It's really just about bubble usage. Yeah, here you have jump. Still. You're on the Monkey. You're playing the corner here. This is good. You use jump. I wouldn't entirely recommend using jump there. Maybe walk and then jump on the enemy team. But yeah, jumping there is fine as well. Now here, you're in no danger. And your D.Va's back. Like, you know, you're fine. You'll live. Don't use bubble here. If you had jump and you can jump behind them and bubble them, that'd be the best possible thing you could do. But here, just keep walking. And then use bubble later. Yeah, good hack, good hack. Okay. Be careful with how far you go here. Okay. They have barrage. This is where it's really important to control this high ground, right? So up here with, like, your D.Va, really. Like, Vit, now, like when they have this barrage, you need to constantly make this Pharah's life a living hell, because if you keep her, like if you prevent her from getting set up in a spot, whether it be from up here, back here, depending on where you're playing, it makes it very difficult for her to get a barrage off, and she'll sometimes just hold it for infinity, especially a Harmony tier player, right? So like if you can just deny the setup, then it like the barrage doesn't even get value. I know a lot of the time, like you'll save DM, you'll save things like that. A lot of the time, just holding the space Pharah wants to use to get her barrage off is so try and recognize that and like just hold that. That comes with the setup as well. So yeah, mech getting high ground. Yeah, Vit. I definitely like. I prefer Vit to be up here and mech to be like holding corners or low ground, but mech can be up here as well. Like mech being up here isn't bad. So yeah, but definitely the Diva and even Sombra can be up there. Lucio Diva can be up there too. Like Lucio, right now, well, Lucio has ult, so you can actually play more defensive. But like in between fights, I want you to like try and aggressively build your beat by playing up here with your Diva as well. That can be very, very effective. So just recognize how you can use these high grounds and don't just sit low ground and wait for them to kill you. Yeah, and then you fly up. Their Tracer's going in for Pulse. That's really fucking good. Nice job. Okay. And then here you have your Moira ult and your beat. I'd say like the best thing you can do here, pull first, and then after that, if they return with something like they're still alive and you need to beat, then you beat mid-fight. And you just, like, with 2 support ults, you should basically have infinite sustain as Rush, and you should be able to sustain like a long fight. It's a really good situation to have. So you can win with 1, it's even better. I want to look back at this here. Okay. You don't seem entirely prepared to meet them. I don't want you to give them this choke. The second you see them going this way, I want you to start walking as a team. Mech, I want you to hold this corner, right? And Vit, you can even take an off angle here and hit them from behind right here, and so can like Water. And Moira can just play back here kind of with your monkey. And yeah, I know you're like off angling with Rush, but it works because you can still DM your monkey if he's pushing in this way, right? So you're still getting all of the resources of Rush, you're still playing as a team. It's just a matter of like you're taking like, again, like I said, this map is really tight. It's tight enough that a Diva up here can DM a Winston down here. So you're still playing as a group. It's just a little more advanced. Good eat though. Here, mech engages. You're playing split. If this were an Ana comp, this would be perfectly fine. Because you can get out. This bubble is decent, although I'd say like, If anything, what you do here is if you're gonna jump from here, jump the whole way. Bubble here. Right? Like, this bubble's okay, but your team is in no way prepared to push this, right? It doesn't feel like there's a lot of communication with this fight, and there's already used personal, so yeah. The bubble isn't awful, though, because, yeah, you cut them off. That's a really good call. That's really good. And you push in, recognizing that. So now that you have this pinch going, yeah, you're fine. The setup was, like, a little awkward, but... Okay. Decent primal as well. Really good. Nice, okay. Yeah. Now you have your beat. You won that with 1... ult. I'd say just beat Blossom, and then you can, like, EMP on top of that. Really, you just have to win the fight, and then you win the map, so... Go crazy with your ultimates in the final one. Especially, like, beat, Blossom, really good. Just go, int. If you're gonna off angle like this, right? If you're gonna bubble them off, it's good. But your team has to be playing right here on this corner, and they have to int the second you do it, right? You have to set up for it. Because when mech does that, this bubble's great, right? I want all of you, though, like, the second this happens, it's a lot like the DM here. You need to be just set up to int the second this bubble gets them split like this. And here, it doesn't seem like there's that amount of coordination and that amount of plan. It's just mechs just putting down the bubble, off angling for a second, then getting out. and he's living, but he's not really getting much value from the. As Rush, you really want to play for your first engage, especially with all these ultimates. Like what you could have done, Mech jumps down like this, and then water at the corner, beat, blossom in, bam, they're all dead. That's it. That's the fight. You just win, right? You could have decided it right there with that first monkey engage. You beat in. This is a good aggressive beat. Where's our Reaper right now? Okay, this is good. This is good. Nice EMP as well. Nice. Hey, bomb to live. Yeah, okay. That was decent. Does anybody have any questions on that map? Because I know you 100-0'd, but there was still a decent amount of mistakes. That kind of.
So it's the big issue, just like a communication thing. Like Mech wasn't doing anything bad. He wasn't like feeding. It was just he wasn't getting enough value because there was no communication between him and the rest of the team what he wanted to do.
Kind of. Like he was when you're on Rush. Like if he had just bubbled like that and then gotten out like that in an nano comp, that's fine. That's a soft engage. You get out and you build your nano and so on. But if you're Rush, the second you bubble them off like that and you have ults, you just need to go. And Mech needs to communicate. I'm gonna bubble them from the side. Int. You just beat in, right? That's how you want to plan that fight. And you want to get value out of that first bubble because you ended up winning the fight, but you essentially wasted bubble and your monkey had to get out and use all his CDs, and you really didn't get value out of those CDs. Because your comp isn't playing slow. If you were playing slow, then you would be like, okay, we're gonna soft engage. Monkey gets out, and he's used his CDs, but then he goes back in since we're playing slow and we let them in. You know, we play for the long fight. That's how a diva bubble would work, right? But if you're playing like you want to play for that first engage, especially, it's very important. These next two you lose, so I want to take this map is really, really good for Rush, so probably the best one goes. Okay, so they're coming out on Brawl, but with the Moira Lucio, so they like int basically, and you guys are Rush. So with your hacks, you should be able to kind of just destroy this. See how you play this. Okay, they use wall. These stun. Okay. So, this is the first mistake I see. Against a Brawl, right? I know I say Rush plays fast, and it does. It does most of the time. But it plays off of opportunities. In certain comps, you know, an opportunity is simply just a person existing, like their Zarya or their Kree, like, and then you just int on, right? Or maybe you bubble them off or something like that, or you get back. Against a Brawl, it's a little harder to find those opportunities, but a lot of the time, their CDs, like, once they use them, then you can push in, but, like, you need to play it slow and actually take angles on a Brawl. A little weird, right? And then, once you see a hack, once you go on, then you, like, int on, okay? So here, Mech jumping on Kree, if they all turn, Mech's dead. Like, really dead. And that's what they do. They're going to turn a Mech a little bit. They're Moira Coles, and they actually managed to kill a Reaper instead. Here, just play slow, play slow. Live, live, live. Nice. Against a Brawl, you just live. Like, just use your CDs to get out and keep poking and play for ult. Your ults are way better than theirs. I mean, would you rather have a high noon or an EMP, right? Like, your comps are very, very similar. You just have to play for, like, angles and just continually poke them out and just build ult charge and then go in. But since you lost your Reaper, you don't really have much damage, so you have to play slow. Reaper's still coming back. Engage, live, live. They're not really pushing you. This is fine. Okay, they're pushing your monkey now. You can bubble and get out. That's a pretty good bubble. That was actually fucking amazing because water got a boop off of that. That's really good. Nice. Oh. Okay. No. Oh, are you okay?
Tried so hard. I tried so hard to get back up.
Damn. Okay. You guys should be able to win this, though. There, you played it pretty much the way you're supposed to play it against Brawl. You did lose Goose early, which is why you had to, like, kind of step it back, and you lost the point, and they got 30%. But for the most part, like, you won that fight because you win in the long fight against Brawl. So now you have ults. With your ults, like, you have an EMP, you have a B. Like, I just say B EMP. Like, just go into them and get your, like, sure, you have to get some respawns back, so you can't do it, like, super early. The best place to EMP, I think, would be, like, here in this area. Since you can't get that, just bait them further and get an EMP off, like, around here. This area. Kind of choke area. Okay. Walking left. That's fine. This is about the area you want to get your EMP off. And you go for a bomb. Okay, all you need is the EMP with this, and this should get a lot of value. Oh, they wall it off. That was decent. Okay. That was a good plan. They just... Their wall... I don't even think they meant to do that. They just did. So that's a good EMP. At this point, everybody just needs to try and get in. Yeah, just go... Bubble's too early, and you should have probably jumped up onto high here. That you have more opportunities. You can poke down, you can drop bubble. A little bit better. Even if they didn't kite back, it would have been better. Good beat to keep it going, so you just sustain. I'd just say keep inting. Try and go after a target. And when it comes to targets, I think their Mei or their Kree, or especially Kree is your best target, right? So keep that in mind. They shatter. Okay. Nice. Oh, okay. Unlucky. And again, an unneeded bubble, which is basically taking no damage. You just did it to... You were afraid you were going to get shot. Was it because of the high noon? And... Yeah. Okay. The high noon had already hit you. That's understandable. If you had hit the bubble, you might have actually been able to get out with health, but... Yeah. Unfortunate. You just don't get a lot of value of it. Your team has to just kind of play around the bubble, I think. Okay, they walk point. Stabilize. When you're down one, live. Just live. Like, here, you should... Like, you got their Reinhardt, right? You're even. Because, you lost Andrew as well. Andrew's on his way back. Kite back. Just kite back. Give space. Give space. Recover, right? Your mech is low. Running low in juice. I'm guessing you're close to Cole. Oh, you have plenty of juice. You're fine. But still, just kite back. Live, live, live. Andrew dies here. Mech is low. Right? Heal mech up. Goose is going in straight away. Biggest thing you can do, just chill. Just chill. Make this call. Make this call to just stabilize. Like, I don't care if they're on point and you have to give it to them for 5%. It's better than giving it to them for an entire fight and having to regroup and giving them like 35%. Right? Just give it up for a second if you really, really need to. You have your Cole. You have your Blossom. If you play this correctly, you have the ult advantage. I mean, they have their Mei ult, but I'm going to be honest. Every single one of you have a way to get out of Mei ult. You have your Fade. You have Speed from Lucio, just raw speed. You have Teleport, or you have your Wraith. You have Translocator. You have Boosters, and you have Jump. All of you have a way to get out, right? Like, this ult should do nothing to you. Their beat is really just to try and live against you. I think it's their best ult right now, and Diva Bomb, you probably shouldn't die to a Diva Bomb here. Overall, I feel like your ults here, like your Cole and your Reaper ult, be better. Like, play this correctly. And Goose ends up going in a little too early. Just, again, be on your monkey's hip and play around your monkey's pace. I think your monkey's pacing here was like, Mech is perfectly fine, playing back and stabilizing until he gets his health back. But that's a communication thing that needs to be, like, Goose just needs to get back and just live. So... Bomb going off. Okay. Moira dies. You're in a bad situation now. Can't really live on point. Yeah. If you had stabilized there and gone for a Cole Blossom, I think you would have been perfect. Okay. Here you have Cole. I would not Diva Bomb in only because there is, even though Blizzard isn't great, if any of you use CDs and get caught in it, it's bad, so... You know, I wouldn't throw it out. Start fight. Decent bubble. Oh. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Decent Death Blossom, although your team's already dead, unfortunately. They waste Cole. Okay. They use Blizzard as well? Did they just fat finger it? What? I think they just fat fingered Blizzard. Okay. That's interesting. So you have beat now. Aggro beat in. You can like beat in and then Diva Bomb in as well to take space here. Just force them back the whole way. Good beat, good beat. Okay. Pair the Kree. Yeah, just isolate them with Primal, that's fine. They have beat. Live. Fight back. Okay. I think overall, the biggest issue is just living, like, after the first engage. And your setups and your fight plans are getting way better, right? But it's also good to look ahead for the mid fight and understand, especially, like, you can't keep going forever, right? There comes a time where you actually have to stabilize and just chill for a second. If you keep going and going and going, you're just gonna die, right? You need time for your Moira to catch up, heal your team, and build ultimates, right? Play around these ultimates. Like, your start of fight is good, but the second the mid fight starts, like, you're not playing for your ultimates anymore. You're just like, you're splitting and you're just doing your own thing, whether it be trying to keep going in or stabilizing. Like, half of you stabilize, half of you keep going, and that's really where your mid fight falls apart. So does anybody have any specific questions? Okay. So, gonna look at village here. Not village. Lighthouse, whatever. Okay. So they're on Mason, and you're on Rush again. Rush is good here against the Brawl, especially. Like, honestly, this is the best possible matchup that you could have, if anything. Because they have to play low ground as well. So essentially, they have to play on your terms now. It's not like a ball comp where they can get set up high and you have to make long rotations and stuff like that, right? Very, very easy for you just to, again, take angles, play for opportunities, hack them, and then go on those hack targets, right? Okay, they TP to point. When you see this, right, understand that you may have to give them point. Okay? But at the end of the day, what you can do here, take angles, set up here, look for a hack. Goose can set up like right side, your Sombra can set up left side, Andrew. Mech, you can pressure main if you want to. Like, there's so much you can do here to set up to make this Brawl's life a living hell with one shield while you all have mobility that exceeds all of them, right? They can't run on you. That's the thing. And you're like, once you realize that, you can just play for ultimates, live, and then win with your ultimates, which are better than theirs. There's like, that's why your comp is significantly better than theirs here, right? It's your ult rotation is better. You live better because you have movement CDs that allow you to escape. Like, this Reinhardt, it's hell to try and kill anybody, as long as none of you waste your CDs and end up in his face and he can swing on you. for the most part, you should all be able to get out, right? So overall, if they just try to bunker down, eventually you'll break them if you play the longer you stretch out a fight. Okay. Put down bubble, pressure this. This is okay. Yeah. Here you're all playing the same angle, kind of. Andrew is doing a pretty good job of playing this side here and gets a hack on the D.Va. This is okay right now. But I would like... I want... Like, Goose overall, try and play with your monkey more. Again, like, you get so much value out of monkey bubble, right? In Mech's bubbles will get so much more value if you just play around them. And then you just live for free. You can also play around D.Va for... Both are good, but I think Mech is a little... Okay, they're capping objective. Their Reinhardt's low. You step in to contest a little bit, put down a bubble. This bubble's okay. See, they're getting low. Like, they're struggling to sustain against you, right? Your Moira is half health and that's it. They're using immortality and their Rein's 1. And you see that difference in this fight, right? They use ammo, just live, just live. And watch for wall as well walking in here. They messed it up, but jump out. At this point, chill, stabilize. They've used their immortality. Keep forcing resources. They've used their wall as well, right? Just get your resources back before pushing back in. Now you're looking for a hack on the BAP. I wouldn't look for hack on BAP if he doesn't have ammo. I'd look more for a D.Va hack or a Reinhardt hack. Especially Reinhardt hack here, where you can deny their shield entirely. I think that's really, really good, but that's just a little bit of awareness of like what CDs they have, because, you know, they already use their ammo, so there's no point in really hacking him. He just can't use his shift, I guess. He's already used that, I think, too. Mech jumps further in without bubble. This is a really high-risk play, but you're all inting on it, which is pretty good. Like, right now, you've backed them into a corner. And you kite back out. This is good. Okay. You're close to primal. I'd say just go back in and just primal them around. Water dies. There's what? Oh. Yeah, you probably... Water, I'd recommend just playing corner. Don't walk inside. Play on the outside. You can heal them still. Like, there's no problem with that. And you can look for boops a little better. Like, just by playing the outside of the point, right? Because if anybody walks out, they die. Like, this D.Va, you can, you know, slide around the point, boop her off or something. Just be very, very careful. Moira, as well. Like, you're playing in kind of open space here. It's a nitpick, but play corner and still heal your D.Va. Like, play this corner maybe even, right? Let your tanks and your DPS walk inside. Don't give them the chance to even. Nice. Good primal, really good. That's unneeded. They wasted wall. I guess you trade for wall, but still, you really did not need the coal there. You already killed 3. Be careful about that. A little awareness. That fight was potentially won. Now you're closing in on an EMP bomb. EMP bomb against Brawl is really good, like significantly good compared to EMP bomb against like split comps. Like they all play together. It's just so perfect. And remember, they're a Brawl comp, and like even though your comp, and I know I tell you guys this, like don't split too much and play high grounds where like your Moira can't go with you. You can just poke them on high. You can get set up there. Like Andrew gets set up for EMP and so on. I think here it all plays around you. Because if you, especially if you manage to get their Lucio, who has beat, Cap, who has Widow, like they almost have all their ults though, except for Sim ults. Keep that in mind. They're all losing on yours. Okay, Goose's setup is pretty good here. Yep, you force their D.Va to contest. This forces their boosters. Decent. I would have our D.Va up there as well. They're looking for TP on the point. That's an incredibly good hack because it splits the sim. I'd say, oh, you did not need to bubble that, but I think you were expecting them to come through TP. So that's a communication error, I think. Not sure though, but either way, the bomb here should be huge. Yeah, that's massive. That's really good. You just absolutely fucking crush Brawl with EMP bomb. Yeah. This is why your ults are better. They're not even allowed to ult. They're just sent back to spawn. Here, this is where you really need to start being a little careful. You have your beat. With how many ults they have, I'd be careful about aggro beating. I know I constantly praise the aggro beats, but this is a situation where, like, okay, yeah, you can maybe hold it and like just kite them back and allow them to use ults and then beat back in maybe, or beat to live, right? This is a situation where, because they just have such an advantage here. Okay, they're walking side. You have Blossom. You should probably be planning to like DM your Blossom. Okay. This is a really good Blossom. That's beautiful setup, right? Again, like, as I said before, if you utilize this, they're not even touching this. Like, what they should be doing is pathing up here and making sure they clear this. If they don't clear this, then then you basically abuse that and you win. Stuff like this, right? That's how you beat the brawl. Your mobility. Okay, they shatter. A massive shatter, but you shouldn't die to that. Okay, you lose mech. Jump off. Yep. Okay. Your Lucio's coming back anyways. Yeah, bring Diva back. Here, they're on Moira now. They're running. They only have Lucio and Mei ult. What they're probably gonna do, try and force the point with their Mei ult. Keep that in mind. You have only your primal. What you can do is just like try and isolate their Mei, who wants to use her ult, and isolate Lucio, who has beat, or you can isolate the. I'd say Lucio would probably be the best but hardest target, and Mei would be the second best, and the three would be priority. Your prime. Okay. They're walking. You this corner, you bubble. This bubble's fine. Jump out. That's fine. Just live. You primal. Oh, you don't catch anybody. Live. Oh no, you walked into it. Just jump up and live. Okay. At this point, the longer you force them, like the longer you make them sit in this room, the more likely you win. They have to run on somebody. Like, honestly, here you just don't play like risky. You don't walk in here unless you have a massive opportunity, like an ult or something. Like, once you build your Cole, you almost have Cole. You win this with Cole. Okay. You Cole, this is good. You bubble inside. Okay, they beat. Live. You're up one. They're gonna push on you. Just don't push inside. Hey, Goose care. Ooh. Don't walk in. Stop going. Just live. Not a great bomb. Then they Cole. Stop going. You guys are still trying to play aggressive when you have no tools to do so. You've already exhausted everything, yet you keep going. This absolutely benefits them, right? Because although you have much better ultimates and much better mobility, you do not have better neutral CDs. Mei's wall, Breeze stun, their ultimate that they're using, their beat that they just used, right? Like, and it's really just about like their neutral CDs especially. Just don't push them unless you have that advantage. Like, stabilize. And this is what I was talking about on the last map, where it's like you just need to live and you win against them, right? You just need to stop going for a second. You don't need to panic. It's 48%. All you have to do is win a fight. And now you're down one. Like, you can honestly back out and you keep going. Like, you're gonna win this fight. Like, just, honestly, a fight with Rush, like, even if you're 2 down, really it isn't over, right? Like, you can still build your EMP, build ults, and still win a fight, right? And just wait for your team to get back. Because remember, again, you can sit here and just jump away the second they try and push you. And since this team seems to have no intention of getting off point anyways, you can just keep poking them, even though you're down 2, right? And as long as you don't keep pushing in like this, as long as you just sit on the outside of point and just poke them and live, and then you just jump out when you want to, with, you know, all of you have, that's the point of six man, like you all have mobility CDs live. They can't do anything about it. What are they gonna do? Like, you just keep building ults until you win. And when they use ults, just back up. Just say fuck you. We're out. That's the advantage. They don't have that liberty. That's why they're bad. They have a Reinhardt, a Mei, a Kree. Once you ult them and go into them, they're dead. They only have a Lucio to take care of that. Like, try and beat and live, and that's what they do. They use 2 support ults to sustain long enough for you guys to fall apart and just keep going. Just when they use support ults, especially like that, back up, just live. That's the big idea. That's the big kind of thing I think you all need to focus on. You keep going. You use bubble. Stop going. Just jump up on top. Oh, yeah. Like, honestly, you're not stopping. You're not just backing up and relaxing for a second. Impatience will get you killed with this comp. It plays fast, but not at all times. Sometimes you have to just it's like Brawl, right? Any type of Brawl wants to play fast. But there's a limit to how fast you can go before you run out of resources that allow you to go fast. That's really important. Hey, you're walking high. This is really good. You're doing exactly what they didn't do. You cleared high ground. This forces back on the point. You have disadvantage again, right? Play for ultimates. You have a EMP. You have a Blossom. You have a hook around. You get your Reaper set up high. You're walking. Absolutely massive EMP. You all go in. Death Blossom. You kill 2. You beat. Really good beat right after to keep the sustain up. You kill Moira. Kill Lucio. Good bubble. To isolate the main killer. Okay. So now they only have a few seconds left. You can look for a really, really early Cole. And then as well as a Primal. Just to like make their lives living. Oh. Back on that. How are you getting set up for this? Okay. So this is probably one of the best examples I've seen so far of a fight where a team, they like, and this is a common thing that happens, right? A team will see, okay, we just capped at 88. And you just go into contest mode. Like, the enemy team doesn't have time to group up, and it's not actually going to be a real fight. They're all here. And it felt like, this looks like a panic to me, right? Your monkey wasn't really set up. You weren't like set. If you were set up on this high ground to ult them, if you were in position, like your Moira's sitting in open space, your Lucio's the whole way over here, like trying to poke this, and ends up like completely split from the team. Nobody seems to know what the fight, like, I doubt you even fight planned for this, right? You need, and this is something that Natter really got on my team about, right? You have to have a plan for contests. That's important. That's very important. And if you have a Primal and you have a Cole, you need to say, like, okay, how are we getting set up to prevent them from contesting here? Are we going to get set up high and, like, Primal them up? Like, because if you just Primal them off here, they're all dead. You just win. This is extremely... You have all of the key tools to win here, and you're chasing a Lucio because you're in contest mode. You're not even considering the fact that there's an entire team behind you, and this is an actual fight. This isn't a contest. Like, sure, the timer's going down, but you're not treating it as if it's a fight. And that is where you go wrong. Yep, and you're gonna pay dearly for that. That's why you lose this, because I was really wondering, like, how do you lose that? That's why. Nice boo. It's just unfortunate, because, you know, if you had been ready to just Primal this Boop. Boom. If you were just set up right here, you would have known. Unfortunate. Just a matter of setup. Okay. So does anybody have any questions on that round? Because like my two big takeaways, one, your mid fights, you need to stabilize. You need to chill for a second. And that's a call I want people to be vocalizing. Okay? And especially mech, it's good for mech to say this, stabilize. That lets the DPS know, okay, we're stopping for a second, we're chilling, and then we can keep going, right? Or you can say stabilize, build coal. And that's a really good specific call, which says to the team, we're going to chill until we have coal, then we're going to go, right? And that's just more communication stuff. I think overall, the team's communication has drastically improved. Your fight planning seems to be drastically improved as well. You have some really, really strong moments in your fight plans, right? And then the other thing, make sure you have a plan for contests, because that's why you lost this map. That final fight you should not have lost. There's no reason why. It's just a matter of setting up like it's a real fight. You have to. You can't just treat it like it's ranked and the enemy team will have no idea what they're doing and be like going on the point with mystery heroes, and they're ready. They're going. They have their whole team, right? So that's really important.